Roger, strychnine or sulfuric acid?
Sulfuric acid.
And besides, strychnine leaves such an unpleasant aftertaste.
Go ahead, laugh. What do you care if the whole entire student body cries itself to sleep tonight?
Would you be willing to tell us what the whole entire student body will be crying about?
The basketball team. We're going to lose the big game.
Don't be silly, child. For the first time in 10 years, we've got a team that can't lose. With Stretch Edwards in there, we're a cinch to win the league title.
That's the point. He's not in there. He left school today.
Stretch can't leave. I mean, the big game is only a week away.
Hi, everybody. Isn't it lovely? It was expensive, but worth it.
Isn't that a Ferranti original?
That's right.
It's beautiful.
Only one in the world like it. I'm going to have shade made for it.
That's nice.
It's made of Carrara marble.
It's wonderful. Now tell me about Stretch.
His father got a job in Detroit. They moved today.
Well, somebody should have talked to his parents.
They did. The principal, the coach, and the president of the student body.
Is basketball really worth all that fuss?
It is when you spent 10 years with a losing team and you finally get a chance to make mincemeat out of the opposition. Why can't they fly Stretch back for the game?
Papo, if a student lives out of the district, he's ineligible.
And so everybody just sat around and did nothing while we lost the greatest center that Brooklyn Heights High ever had. Why didn't you tell me this before?
I just found out.
You'd think some public-spirited citizen would have stepped forward and offered his home for this boy.
Like who?
Like us. He could have stayed here.
Martin, let's not get carried away.
Now, Natalie, it would only have been for a week. Brooklyn Heights hasn't won a championship for 10 years. Where's your loyalty?
It's a shame it's too late.
Yeah, he's probably halfway to Detroit by now.
You mean you would really have invited him to stay here?
Certainly. Why, if that boy weren't on his way to Detroit, he'd be an honored guest in this home tonight.
You can come in now, Stretch.
Yeah. Come on in, Stretch.
I sure appreciate your hospitality, Miss Lane. Thank you, sir.
They don't make Carrara marble like these.
Meet Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Kathy's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair. They're cousins all the way. One pair of people guess, different as night and day. Where Kathy adores a minuet, the ballet Russe and Cougar Suzette. They walk alike, turn the even to
You sure cook a lot like my mother, Mrs. Lane.
I imagine she spends most of her time in the kitchen.
She always said I could eat faster than she could cook.
I believe her.
Basketball players have to eat a lot to keep up their energy. There certainly is a lot of them to keep up, isn't there? I'm going to be a basketball player, too, as soon as I put a little height on. Say, while you're here, do you think you could teach me some basketball plays? Stick to checkers. Boy, when I grow 6 more inches, am I going to get you?
I'll clear the table. Why don't you go in the other room?
I'd like to help, Mrs. Lane.
No, never mind. The girls will help her.
I really want to help. I appreciate everything you've done for me.
Oh, gee, did you hurt yourself?
No, I'm fine. It's okay.
I'll have it raised.
Thanks. Let me help you, Mrs. Lane. Gosh, I'm sorry.
Don't give it another thought, boy. That just goes to prove what great shape you're in. Right?
Wrong.
These should work nicely. Cuckoo, one for each foot. Isn't it wild having Stretch here? He's a bit awkward, isn't he? Not on a basketball court, he's not. Stretch Edwards is the greatest center Brooklyn Heights High ever had.
So he can toss a ball in a basket.
He scored over 30 points in all the games this year. If Stretch Edwards isn't great, I'd like to know who is.
Vladimir Horowitz.
Where does he play?
Philharmonic.
Oh, that's Vladimir Horowitz. Boy, wait till I tell the guys Stretch Edwards slept here. They'll flip. I sure wish he'd teach me how to play basketball.
Gee, this looks great.
All set, Stretch. We put an extension on for you.
Oh, it feels good.
Fit?
Sure does. Perfect.
Good. You sure you're comfortable?
Sure. Nice lot.
Good night, Stretch.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Ross. Sleep well. Night, Stretch.
Night, Ross.
What are you doing?
Figuring our losses. Let's see, $85 for the lamp, $6 for dishes, about $200 for a new refrigerator.
Honey, accidents can happen.
Especially with Stretch around. It's like having King Kong in the house.
It's always a little awkward.
Say his folks moved to Detroit.
Yeah?
I wonder if they gave him the address. How much?
Of course. It's $14.95. Now, don't worry about it. When Stretch leaves, Ross can use it. Hey, come on, Stretch. Try a few shots.
Come on. Come on, Stretch.
Great, Stretch. Beautiful.
Isn't it a little close to the house?
Certainly not. That boy's got the eye of an eagle.
And the grace of a hippo.
There you go. Come on, Stretch. Let's go. Dance. Come on, show out.
Come on, Stretch. Let's try a little teamwork.
You'd better not, Mr. Lane. I throw him kind of hard.
The harder, the better. I used to play a little basketball myself. Okay, Stretch. Come on, let's start. Now, hit me right under the basket.
One broken window. $25. Good evening, Coach Cogler.
Oh, good evening, Mrs. Lane. I hope I'm not intruding.
Oh, not at all. They're playing the Purdue-Stanford game in the living room.
Oh, Rob.
Come on in.
Coach Cogler. Mark. Good evening. You know everyone. Yes. Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Coach.
Hi, Patty.
Won't you sit down?
Hi, Patty. I don't want to seem premature, Coach, but congratulations. For what? For coaching the first Brooklyn Heights champions in 10 years. Does anybody here know my wife?
Well, yes. Mrs. Colburn is my English literature teacher.
Well, when I got up this morning, I said to her, Florence, only 6 more days and I'll have that silver cup right in my hand. And she said, Horace, you haven't got a chance. And I said, why? And she said, because he's flunking. And I said, who? And she said, Stretch Edwards. Well, when I came to, I said, if it's close, Florence, let him pass. Please, Flo. And she said, how can I? He's got a semester average of 27 out of a possible 100. I made a deal with her. The final examination is Friday. She said she'll pass you if you get a B.
Thanks, Coach. You're all heart.
No, just level with me. Don't let me get my hopes up high. Can you get a B?
No.
Thanks. Have a nice trip to Detroit. Isn't there any chance you could pass that test?
Not even if my own mother gave it to me.
Well, it was a beautiful dream while it lasted.
No B, no game.
Of course Stretch can play, if he wants to.
He can?
Certainly. You are all arguing on a false premise.
But I still have to pass that test.
I know. That is the simplest thing in the world. Edgar Allan Poe, American author and critic, born 1809, died 1849. Among his stories were The Murders of the Rue Morgue and The Purloined Letter. His poems, The Raven, The Bells, and Annabel Lee, are noted for their fantastic imagery. Great. Do you think it'll really work? Of course it will. It's psychologically motivated. Repetition is impressed upon the subconscious so that he can draw on the information at any time he pleases. It's a kooky way to win a basketball game, but who might argue with science?
There it is, Stretch. The unconscious teacher. Well, we're going to win this game. I don't get it.
It's a revolutionary educational technique.
It's a cinch. You learn while you're asleep.
I don't learn when I'm wide awake.
You've got to think positive.
Positively.
So I said, positively.
Well, let's pop into bed, Stretch.
Now? It's only 8 o'clock, Mr. Lane. Who goes to bed at 8 o'clock?
I do.
I never go to sleep before 10 o'clock.
Well, this night is different. This is going to be the most rewarding night's sleep you've ever had. And tomorrow morning, those questions will be what you call a snap.
You mean I have to listen to that all night?
You don't have to do anything. Your subconscious will do all the work.
Now, let's get under the covers.
How do you sleep at 8 o'clock?
Try closing your eyes for a starter.
Good night, Stretch. Good night, Patty. Good night, Patty. Good night, Rob. Good night, Patty. Sleep well.
Give the boy a chance. Okay. Now, you be quiet.
I won't even brush my teeth.
Good. Stretch, I'm sorry. It was an accident. Stretch, do you hear me? It was just an accident. I'm sorry.
He's asleep.
Sweet.
Edgar Allan Poe, American author and critic, born 1809.
It's not going to keep you awake, is it?
Can't even hear it.
Good.
Murders of the Rue Morgue and the Purloined Letter. His poems, The Raven, The Bell, Edgar Allan Poe, American author and Good morning. Come on, Kath, let's get started.
Yeah, go ahead, Kathy. Fire away.
Who was Thomas Paine?
Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine. The forward of Clinton High.
Wrong team, Stretch. He was the forward for the Minutemen. You remember? The Age of Reason, the Rights of Man. What about Edgar Allan Poe?
The writer?
I knew he could do it.
He wrote... I'm sorry.
What about Bret Harte?
It's no use. I just don't know.
Sure you do. He wrote... What did he write?
The Outcast of Poker Flats, Plain Language from Truthful James, and The Luck of the Roaring Camp.
I guess I'm just dumb. It was nice of you to try and help me, but I'm hopeless.
Stretch.
There goes our last hope.
I'm sorry, darling.
I can't understand the machine not working.
I can't either. Everyone knows that Edgar Allan Poe wrote The Bells, The Raven, and The Purloined Letter, that Robert Louis Stevenson wrote Treasure Island and Kidnapped.
Didn't work, huh? Listen to him.
Great. Now all we have to do is teach him how to shoot a basket, stretch him 4 feet 5, and everything will be fine.
Stretch? You're not leaving.
What's there to stay for?
A lot of people are depending upon you.
And I've let them all down. 17 years old and a failure.
No, you're not. Oh, why, you're the school hero.
Some hero. When I was born, I was a little baby. I mean, little. I was just like everybody else until I was 10. Then all of a sudden, I shot up. And now all I'm good for is playing basketball and helping my father paint the ceiling. Believe me, I wish I needed a ladder. I feel like a freak.
You mustn't feel like that, Stretch. I feel silly calling you Stretch. What is your real name?
Elliot.
I've felt like a freak too, Elliot. My father is a foreign correspondent. Ever since I was a baby, I've traveled all over the world with him.
That sounds great.
Oh, it was. Except that everywhere we went, I was the new kid. It's not easy for me to make friends. I'm not as outgoing as Patty. So, when I finally did manage to make friends in a new school, in a new country, we'd move on and I'd have to begin all over again.
That's rough, Kathy.
I learned to fight in a lot of languages. You have no real problem, Elliot. You're tall and a very good athlete. And I'll bet you're very bright, too.
You know better than that. You're in my English lit class. I'm a dunce.
No, you're not. I've seen you in sessions with Coach Coughlin. Those plays are so complicated I couldn't follow them.
That's different. That stuff's simple.
Is it? Would you show me?
Sure. Everything's with numbers. For instance, this is number 12. I'm at center. I pass the ball to the forward, who flips it over to the guard. Guard feints and passes it over to the point man. The point man takes it and dribbles over to the other forward, who passes it across to the other guard. The guard takes it and dribbles down to the other forward, who gives it back to me. I take it and pass it over to the guard. He dribbles down to the other forward, who passes the ball to me. I take it and wham.
12 means all that?
That's one of the simple ones. We've got 35 plays. Some of them are real tricky.
And you've memorized them all by numbers.
It's easy.
Elliot, I want you to listen to me. You are going to pass that exam.
Me?
You. And we're going to do it by the numbers.
Something to keep your strength up.
Gee, thanks.
That's all right. How's it going? Beautifully. Listen. Now, by the numbers. 11. Up.
11, Robert Louis Stevenson. Born 1850, died 1894. Wrote Kidnapped Treasure Island, The Master of Ballantrae.
Right. 17. Up.
17, Mark Twain, pseudonym Samuel Langhorne Clemens. Born 1835, died 1910. Wrote Tom Sawyer, Huckleberry Finn, Connecticut Yankee.
That's great, Stretch.
You know something?
What?
It's easy with you calling the signals, but who's going to quarterback during the examination?
We'll worry about that later.
Let me handle that when the time comes.
No, thank you. Right now, we've got to get those signals. 77. Up.
77, Edgar Allan Poe, American author and critic. Born 1809, died 1849. He wrote... It follows a purloined letter, and,
Is everything all arranged?
Jack, we'll be outside the classroom window in exactly 8 minutes.
Good show.
Hi.
Elliot, how do you feel?
I feel a little dizzy.
You'll be all right.
I hope so.
He looks kind of green. He feels a bit warm. He's just nervous about the test.
This is the final examination in English literature. It concerns the lives and works of writers we've discussed in class. Now, you have an hour to complete the examination, and you may begin now.
Mrs. Copeland?
Yes, Kathy?
It's terribly warm in here. May I open the window?
Certainly.
Thank you.
We're for Brooklyn, and no one could be prouder. And if you cannot hear us, we'll yell a little louder. We're for 11!
Hello, Mrs. Copeland.
That noise is disconcerting, Kathy. Would you mind closing the window?
Terribly warm in here, isn't it?
Oh, it's not. It's too much noise.
Mrs. Copeland?
Yes, Kathy.
I still think it's terribly warm in here. The temperature must be at least 77. Mrs. Copeland?
is it now?
The clock says it's 14 after 10. Actually, it's 16 after.
Well, thank you for calling it to our attention. Don't do it again.
Mrs. Coughlin,
Kathy.
this is room 19, isn't it? I want to put it at the head of my paper.
I want you to finish the balance of this examination in the assembly hall.
But I...
Right now. Hello, darling. You're home early.
Well, I'm just covering the local sporting scene. You heard anything yet?
Nothing yet. Shouldn't be long now.
Well? He flunked.
Everything went fine until Mrs. Coughlin closed the window.
What's that got to do with the examination?
Oh, nothing.
Kathy.
I tried to help him, but Mrs. Coughlin got a little disagreeable about it and insisted I leave the room.
You didn't cheat, Kathy.
Not really. I was just calling the signals, and Mrs. Coughlin didn't let me finish.
There goes the old ball game.
Who's the boy? We all back! Stretch!
What are you cheering about?
Stretch past the exam. He's gonna play.
It worked.
I don't believe it.
He didn't either.
Well, congratulations. We just heard.
We knew you could do it, boy. Wonderful. What do sit down here? There was nothing to it. The boy is a brain. And we're going to play in the league finals, and we're going to win.
Yeah!
Aren't we, Stretch boy? Rickety rack, rickety rack. Who's the boy? We all back.
I sure appreciate the confidence you people have in me.
We knew you could do it, Elliot.
All of a sudden, it came easy. I didn't need the numbers anymore. I just looked at the questions and wrote down the answers.
Oh, I can see the look in the other coaches' faces. You know what I said to my wife this morning? I said, Florence, you know that picture of your mother on the mantelpiece? And she said, yeah, well, what about it? I said, well, take it down. You know why? Because that's where the silver cup is going to go. You know why she's not going to take that picture down, Stretch?
Why?
Because you've got the measles.
The measles?
The measles?
I've waited 10 long years for this day. And what do I end up with on my mantle? My mother-in-law.
How do you feel?
Okay. I'm sure sorry, Kathy.
Why?
I've been nothing but trouble. Now you've got me for 2 more weeks.
I don't mind. I'm beginning to like athletes a lot. What you're doing for us is terribly nice.
Oh, it isn't anything.
Don't forget to drink your water, Elliot. Good night.
Good night. Number 68. The center pushes the ball to the guard, flips it over to the forward. The forward takes the ball and throws it to the point man. The point man takes it and dribbles out of the center. The center takes it and throws it to the guard on the left side. The guard on the right side. The man takes it and
Here's Kathy, who's lived most everywhere, from Zanzibar to Berkeley Square. But Patty's only seen the sights a girl can see from Brooklyn Heights. What a crazy pair! But they're cousins, identical cousins, and you'll find
They laugh alike.
they walk alike, at times they even talk alike. You can lose